Do a quick revision on lesson 2.5. So this lesson is about solving equations using square roots and cube roots. Again, it's the same concept as lesson 2.4, but the thing is we're gonna explore how can I work with square root and cube roots, whether they are perfect squares or imperfect squares. Here you're gonna see some imperfect squares or imperfect cubes. And we're going to see how can we solve them as if it's a part of an equation. We will see what does that mean in a minute. So again, as we said that square roots are related to area problems and cube roots are related to volume problems, okay? So let's see this question. We're gonna solve equations using imperfect. This is the first idea, okay? Using perfect squares. So Darius is restoring a square tabletop. He wants to finish the outside edges with a piece of decorative molding. What total length of molding will Darius need? So they gave us the area of the tabletop, and they want to see what's the total length of the tape molding he needs to go around the edges of the outside edges of the tabletop. So they basically want each of these sides, and don't forget that they want the total length. So I'm gonna combine at the end all the sides. So first of all, my goal is I want to find the side. We all know that if I have the area, I know that the area is basically side times itself, which is side squared, right? And we all know that if I want to find the side, only one side, I need to do what? I need to find square root of area. This was from previous video. So we said that square root of the area will give me the side. Cube root of the volume will give me the side, okay? So what is the area here? They told us that the area is 25. So I can say that square root of 25 is going to give me the side, okay? So what is square root of 25? I can either do 5 times 5. So the answer is 5, positive. Or it can be negative 5 times negative 5. So it's either a positive 5 or a negative 5. And we write it in math as, instead of writing it this way, we write it as positive or negative. This sign means positive or negative 5, okay? So it can be either 5 times 5, both positive, it will give me 25, and negative 5 times negative 5, it will give me 25. We know from before that if you multiply two negative numbers following the smiley faces rule, it's going to give you a positive answer. 5 times 5 is 25, okay? Anyways, now, since the answer is positive negative 25, I cannot select negative as a length of the tabletop. I can only select the positive because length or measurements can be only positive. So I'm going to say that the side equals to positive 5 and the unit is feet. Now, total length of molding he needs, which is basically all sides, 5 plus 5 plus 4 times, because it's a square, which is going to give me 20 feet. So he needs to buy 20 feet of molding. We found the side length, we found the molding he wants, and we can understand that this square root can be positive or negative answer always, okay? Here, what is the side length of the square below? So I have this square, the area is 100, so area is 100, and it should equal to the side squared, because side times side will give me the area, which is side square, okay? Anyways, now how can I find the one side? I'm gonna use square root of the area. So if you square root both sides, the square root cancels the squared. It's just the same concept, they're just breaking it down into simple steps whatsoever. Now think about it again. I have the area if I have the area, to find the side, you need to do square root, okay? So what is square root of 100? It's basically either 10 times 10. Sorry, oh, wait 1 second. So we have either 10 times 10 positive, or negative 10 times negative 10. So it's a positive or negative 10. But since it's in meters, I can say side equals to 10 positive meters. So you need to keep this in mind, okay? Miss, do we have to write positive and negative? Yes. Do we have to write the one with meters only positive? Yes, of course. Here, again, solving equations involving perfect cubes. So again, here we have a problem. You have a cube shape whatsoever for the he wants to cover the opening with a square screen. What is the dimensions? So basically they want the side. They give you the volume. Directly, if I have a volume and I want the side, what should I do? I need to use cube root. Okay? So side cubed will give me the volume. Right? So cube root of the volume will give me the side. It's just going from here to there. Anyways, what's the volume? 343, and I want to find the cube root, okay? So the cube root of 343 should give me the side, okay? Now you need to think about it. What number, if you multiply it by itself 3 times, because it's a cube root, so you need to think about the number if you multiply it by itself 3 times, okay? Now we all know that 1 cubed is 1, 2 cubed is 8, 3 cubed is 27, 4 cubed is 64, 5 cubed is 125, 6 cubed is 36 times 6 is 36, and 18, then here is 216, and then 7 cubed is basically 343. So the answer must be 7. So 7 times 7 times 7 will give me 343. Now they all need to be positive to give me a positive answer, okay? But they cannot be all negative. So if you try it all negative, negative times negative is a positive answer. It will give me positive answer. 1 second. That was, yeah, 49. And then multiplied by the negative 7, negative times positive will take me back to negative 343. So having them all as negative answer does not work. So in cube root there is only one answer, which is only positive 7. The unit is feet. So you can see the difference. In square root it can be either positive or negative answer, because 2 positives will give me positive answer, 2 negatives will give me negative answer, negative area. But in cube roots, they have to be all positive. If they were all negative, they're gonna end up being a negative volume, okay? So that's the whole difference. So what if I have imperfect squares or cubes? For example, like they're gonna ask you about here, solve for x. Whenever you have a squared, how can I find the x? It's basically find the square root of 50, okay? So what if it was cubed? You have to find the cube root of 37, okay? Anyways, what is square root of 50? I don't have anything. If you multiply by itself, it's going to give you 50. Nothing is a whole number. So it's not a perfect square. So therefore, I'm going to leave it as it is. Just keep in mind that since it's a square root, it can be positive or negative. But for the cube root rule case, You're going to also leave it as it is because it's an imperfect cube. Nothing times itself will give you 37. Like we have 27 is for the 3, and we have 64 is for the 4. So 37 is in between and there is no whole number for it. So I don't have. So I'm going to leave it as it is. I'm just going to keep a positive only answer outside. So for cube root, it's a positive answer only, square root, both answers. Same here. To find the value of C, you're going to use square root of 27, but the answer should be positive, negative. Here, to find the value of A, you're going to use cube root of 11, but the answer will be, since it's cube root, it's only positive. Here, the value of X is cube root of 37, but since it's cube root, it's only positive. Value of X is square root of 15, but since it's square root, it's positive, negative. Yep. So here they're going to ask you again, what is if z squared equals to 1? So again, I need to use square root of, for both sides, just to cancel, to find z. So z is going to equal to, what is square root of 1? It's either positive 1 times 1 or negative 1 times negative 1. Okay? Positive or negative 1. So the solutions are positive 1 and negative 1. Here they gave you the area is 121. So if the area equals to 121, okay, and we know it's equal to the side squared, how can I find the side? We need to use square root of 121 because it's an area. So what times itself is 121? It's equals to 12, positive or negative. But since it's in feet, I can only say that the side equal to positive 12 feet. So I'm not going to select the negative answer. But I have to write this. Okay? And this as well. Here, our friend solved the equation, this one. So you have x squared equals 49. To find x, you have to use square root of 49, which is equals to 7, but positive or negative. So she found it as only 7, which is incorrect. It should be x should equal to positive or negative 7, not only 7. So that's the mistake. Solve the equation. Again, here we have x squared equals 36. How can I find x? You're going to use square root of 36 because it's squared. What is square root of 36? What times itself is 36? It's 6 times 6, or negative 6 times negative 6. So x equals positive or negative 6 because it's a square root. So this is the answer. It's not this, not this. It's both. Okay? Here, solve the equation. I have w cubed equals 1000. So how can I find w? Since it's cubed, I'm going to use cube root of 1000. Okay, so what is w? What times itself 3 times will give me 1000? 10 times 10 times 10. They must be all positive to give me 1000. That is positive. Okay, so in cube root, the answer is only positive. In square root, the answer is positive or negative. Okay, here, if I have x, by the way, if it's under the cube is negative answer, let's say negative 1, then the cube root of negative 1 is negative 1. If it was cube root of positive 1, the answer is going to be positive 1. So just additional information. Anyways, but generally it's only positive. So here, the value of x is, we need to find the cube root of 64. We know that 4 times 4 times 4, 3 times. Why am I looking 3 times? Because it's a cube root. So 4 times itself 3 times is going to give me 64. So x equals to positive 4 only. Okay? If a cube has a volume of 27, so the volume is side cubed, and the volume is 27. It should equal to the side cubed. What is the side? I have to use cube root of 27, which is, what times itself, 3 times will give me 27? 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. So the side equals to positive 3 only. What's the unit? Centimeter. That's it. Here, there is an error in the work here below. Explain the error. So she was finding the cube root of x cubed to find what is x, and she found as positive and negative 5. Oh, but we said that if it was negative 5, negative 5 times negative 5 times negative 5 is equal to 125. Yes, but the sign is what? 3 negatives will give me a negative. 2 negatives will give me a positive. 3 negatives will give me a negative. Okay? So that's the mistake. It cannot be negative 5. It should be only positive 5. Because 5 times 10 is 125. And since they are all positive, the answer is going to be positive. So this is the correct answer. It's only positive 5. Negative 5 is not correct. So that's the mistake. It's not positive and negative. With cube root, it's only positive. It's not positive and negative. Solve the equation. Again, they have x cubed is 27. What is x? You have to find cube root of 27, which is 3, but only positive because it's cube root. Only positive 3. Okay, because 3 times 3 times 3, I'm looking at a number I multiply by itself 3 times. Okay, this is 3 times, and it's by chance it was 3. It can be any other number, as you can see here, 5. That's it. Good luck.